Natasha Consult exists to help teenagers and young adults identify what they would want to be in the future. What do they like? What are they passionate about? What are they good at? And in line with that, we assist them know their strengths, their weaknesses, and tell them that whatever it is that you trust and you believe you can become, you will always become if you put your mind to it, if you study hard. So we help them identify what subjects are they good at, what are their strengths, and in doing that, we help them know the career paths that they want to do. What universities do they want to go to? What subjects, what courses they will do at the university. And in so doing, children have become transformed. They have a better understanding of themselves. They have a better understanding of the future, of what is in the market and what they can actually pursue and put their mind to. So today we are privileged to have one of the leaders and the person who has played a very pivotal role in the nation of Uganda, especially in the education sector. That's why I needed him to be here today. He is going to tell us his life journey of education, of school, of work, and want to know is that what he wanted to become growing up. And he will tell us more insight on what we need to know about the education system in Uganda and especially career guidance. Welcome with me, Honorable Hon.Mushega. Thank you so much for coming, sir.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
I know growing up, you went through school. I read so much about you and I was like, wow, I didn't know this gentleman studied all these things. You are a lawyer. You did so many other things that I won't go through. But tell us, when you were growing up, what did you dream of becoming?
Well, when I was growing up, around when I was 9, 10, 11 years old, I think around P3, I remember my father took me on a trip. He was a cattle trader, so he used to take cattle by road from Ankwere to Port Portal. And he gave me a trip. And we stopped in Queen Elizabeth National Park. And then this Muyind was the driver, the lorry, you hired the lorry. Then in the park we stopped, and interestingly, he roasted a potato for me in the exhaust there in the car engine. It was sweet, you know.
Yes.
Then the man asked me, what did I want to become? And I remember I told him, I said, the first time I was asked, I said, I want to become a doctor.
Right.
So from early age, I wanted to be a doctor, and I think the influence was Dr. Bengana.
Okay.
From Bwerenyanji there. He was the first doctor in Ankwere. I think he became a doctor around 1957, 58, about the coincidence.
Yeah.
And when we were in school, he would come in with a small car which looks great then. Sit there, and then when the boys were playing football, the big ones, we were cheering. They would tell us that's Bengana, the man who is a doctor.
Yeah.
So you get influenced by things around you. And I think indirectly, or directly, it was my big influence. I want to be like him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then later on, things changed.
Yes. So
I grew up wanting to be a doctor.
Yes.
When I was in Mbarai school, I think it was around senior 2. There was this teacher of history. Then I used to do the sciences better. I want to do biology because they tell you the subjects which lead you. Then these 2 teachers, one was called Asha Wilson, another one I think was Bruce. One was teaching geography and sports, another one was football and history. Yeah. So they told me I could be a good lawyer. Okay. And they started calling me a lawyer. Okay. I think they are the ones who shifted my... And one of them predicted something at one say now. So if you study hard, you'll be this by this time. Okay. I just recorded recently. So I think they became a big influence on me. They liked me. Yes. And then I know one of them used to call us to his home for dinner, that Asha Wilson, which I've come to know the meat was, I think it's called the broth. They cook and put meat in it, like a stew, but it looked to Mzungu's home, you thought it was special. Yeah. I think they were the biggest influence on me to be a lawyer, to become a lawyer.
Yes.
And I focused on becoming a lawyer.
Yeah, awesome.
And I never looked back to be something else.
So did you practice law after that?
Unfortunately, history has its own course. There are your wishes and your realities. My own belief and another friend of mine, Fred Bananuka, he was 2 years ahead of me, where our view was that we don't want to go into politics to make money.
Yeah.
We should develop our career.
Yeah.
And then when we are around our estimation, because I want to graduate around 24, 25 maybe, work maybe 10, 15 years later, you'll be established. Yeah. And when we are saying, when we are around 45, we go into politics, because then we have something to contribute.
When you're about 45.
That's what I remember very well.
Yes.
That has not yet happened.
That has not yet happened?
No. Because when you student politics,
yes.
Then around, not in 71, they carried out a coup. Then we were UPC youth wingers. So our government was overthrown. So we demonstrated against Amin and put up against him. We became exiled. Cut off our scholarships. Yeah. So I went into politics and the military, and totally out of my plans. And the course of history changed.
That's true, yeah.
So I never had the opportunity to practice law fully. I practiced when in Zambia partly. Yeah. So my career path became different. Yeah. And we became exiled. Yeah. So I finished my degree, went to do another degree in law, and then start teaching law at the university. Yes. Yes. Then later on, we come back, then the way the country was being run was awkward, to say the least. People being killed. Then I was teaching at University of Makerere. Yeah. You see even young boys pointing a finger at you that you are in the opposition party. Very disgusting. Yeah. And here I was advised that that was not a safe place to go to. So I ended up in the bush. Cut a long story short. Yeah. So my career has had its own path that was never at all planned by me. That's true. But I found myself into it. I took it in full gear. Yeah. And it led to me to do things I not planned for. Whether have been useful to me or very not useful, but I did them with all my spirit. Whatever I choose to do, I do to the full of my abilities, and I never regret what I've chosen to do consciously, even when it turns out not to be exactly what we had planned to be. Nothing in life works out perfectly. Yeah. Maybe I don't think the world is what God wanted it to be from the beginning. But that is your area of influence. I'm not so sure that he wanted to see soldiers beating people in the streets, that he had planned that we will see ministers and officers and big people driving on the pavements. Yes. If you see what goes in Kampala. I don't think that's what God planned when he was, according to the Bible, creating the world. So if he had planned it to be that way, then definitely he needs to go back and revise his plans. But in my view, that he gave us the brains, he gave us the eyes, and the freedom to use them. Yes, yes.
So as a lecturer, you were a lecturer at Makerere and a lecturer in Lusaka. What was your drive? Why were you so much interested in becoming a lecturer? And what role did you play in the lives of the students that you were teaching at that particular moment?
No, practicing law when you are already in exile was not the best option. The best option is that a career path, in other words, knowledge became your trademark. Yes. Actually, I was doing my PhD when I went to the bush, which I've never, I hope to finish one of these days. Yes. So I like teaching. You want to share knowledge you have with others, then contribute to creating the future. So teaching future intellectuals, future professionals, future managers became my dream. Even when the Bush, I used to run the political schools to teach people character and my values, manners, and that fighting is not just fighting. You must have a purpose. Otherwise, any idiot, anybody can put a gun and shoot. To put a gun must be a result to resort, and it must be for a purpose, and that purpose must be short-lived, not as a permanent feature. At the end of the day, you need peace so that people can live their lives to their full potential. We shall come and go, but what have you done in that lifetime? To me, that is my biggest critical question.
Do you think today, do you think you're able to raise a generation, you becoming a mentor of men, of girls, who, especially in the law area, because you did law, are you able to mentor people to tell them this is right, this is wrong, especially looking at the near future of our country? We are looking for new leaders. We are looking for people who want to make a difference in our country, but we do not have those elders who are going to tell us and instruct us in the ways that we should walk, just like the Bible says. We do not have those good examples that we can look at, or the intentionality of mentorship that we need in this nation, in terms of education, in terms of law, what people need to do to make a difference in their spheres of influence. Are you able to do that, or is that something you've ever thought about doing?
I don't think my view, my personal view, I don't think you go out to be a mentor.
Yeah.
Just as you say you go out to be a good person.
Yes.
I don't think or you be a good Moroccan.
Yes.
Or a good thief.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think that becomes your career path or your goal. My view is that you try to do what is best in your circumstances.
Yes.
Try to live a life that is good for you.
Yes.
And good for society. Example.
Yes.
Try to be a good example. Be measured in your words. And when you are given a job, do it to the best of your abilities.
Yes.
If you have the ability to help, you don't help people expecting to harvest.
True.
My view.
Yeah.
I think you help people, one, because you can say a person, there are some, even advice, some kids I'm paying school fees for, whom I'm related to, not related to.
Yes.
One of them, I was in the supermarket and this girl served me well. I said, what do you do? I do this and this. Do you want to study more? Yes. And it became my problem. Then I exchanged the addresses. Then she started calling me. And interested, she wants to be a technician.
Wow.
She went and got a place, and I paid for another one, wanted to be a nurse.
Yes.
I met in a place which is bigger than I am even. Weren't you calling with your career? Turns up, he said, I've got a place in Mengo Hospital to be a nurse. It's a bit of money, but you're helping them.
Yes.
You are building the future.
That's true.
Not relatives at all. Relatives, you have no choice sometimes.
Yes.
Some you have a choice, others you find that the mother said, Monzar, this is your child. Now, of course, it will never be your child, but when it grows, the mother will be more interested in than you are. You try to help others to grow. Maybe not be a good example, but do what is good for you. If you are dealing with the public resources, put them to the best of your abilities.
Yeah.
If you have given a position of leadership, try to guide the people to what you think is the right place.
Yes.
Sometimes you are rough with them, but if I disagree with your matters of principle, not personality, in the long run you will come to appreciate. So I don't think you go out to be a mentor.
Yes.
I'll give 2 examples in my case, adult life. One was a man, I've told this story 1,000 times, but let me repeat it. A man called Badru Kakunguru. When we had come from the bush, 86.
Yeah.
We are relatively younger people, some of them, I don't want to name their names, but they were in their 27, 28, 29, young people.
Yeah.
Some are big people now, some are alive. The Shamuntus, His Excellency President Kagame, the late General Ronda, the Major Kazoras. These were relatively young people in their youth.
Yeah.
And some of us were in our mid 30s. Very few were in their 40s. And he found us in a meeting to greet us. Then he said, "You young people, you're not going to harvest the fruits of what you have done."
Yeah.
And you know, in my vernacular, Kungura is to wish you bad luck. And he saw we in a meeting where there must have been like 40, maybe towards 100 people, young people.
Yeah.
And we all frowned. How can this man tell us that we're not going to enjoy the fruits of what we have done?
Yes.
I think in his wisdom, he must have seen that we are at a loss.
True.
Then he said, "Kambaboro, let me tell you a story." So he told that a story that one time the king was visiting his subjects. He found a very old man, you know, who's crawling on his buttocks, planting a nazi, I think it's coconut.
Yeah.
It takes many years, 7, 8, 9. You know, in the African setting, it's a long time. He found this old man planting nazi. He said, "You man, you must not be that intelligent. You are planting this tree that you will enjoy its fruits. In short, you should be having short-term thing, dodo, beans."
Yes.
And the old man, he told him that, "Toina Magesi, you are not as intelligent.
Yes.
You are not wise. Why are you planting this thing which you'll never eat?"
Yes.
Then the old man turned to him. He's telling us now. And to the king, he said, after all the tributes, that this nazi which I've been eating, I don't know who planted it.
Yes.
I did not plant it. I've been enjoying it. Let me also plant this one. In case I'm lucky, I'll eat some of the fruits. If I'm not lucky, those who will come after me will eat the fruits of a plant they ever planted. Just I've also been eating the fruits of the plant I never planted. We started smiling, you know.
Yeah.
You know, then he turned around, he said, then the king said, "Hey, Gokasaji, you are very intelligent." Eh?
Yes.
When he called the fool, or not so intelligent, Namwazab gave him gold.
Yes.
Then the old man turns around, he says, "Hey, this is unusual. Normally you plant and as it takes many years to give you fruits. Mine has given me fruits the same day."
Yeah.
Then the king got more excited and gave him more.
Yes.
And the old man said, "No, this is beyond expectation. Normally you plant a nazi, which takes many years to bear fruit. This one has given me not only one harvest, but 2 harvests in the same day."
Yes.
Then we started smiling and laughing, and he said, "Teyazim Malako." I hope you get me.
Yes, I do.
That story has been a big mark in my life since 1986. Right. Then later on, a few years later, 3, I became Minister of Education. I was visiting schools, Western Uganda, and this education officer was taking me around. So I saw a nice tree in a garden, a farm, you know, those kind of trees.
Yes.
I said, "That tree is beautiful in a farm." So, honorable, that tree takes like 20 years to grow. But then I turned to him, I said, "So what? These schools you are telling me to visit, did you build them?" Then I decided to plant something I'll never enjoy. I started planting mahogany trees because I was told that mahogany takes about 80 years to be a mature tree. Don't forget, then I was 40. So even if I was to live 40 times 80, that's 120. And he said that 80 is the minimum. And the biggest problem facing Uganda in particular, and Africa in general, is that we do short-term plans. Very few people want to do things that will bear fruit when they are no longer alive or when they are no longer in office. And this has been my guiding philosophy in life, to do something. If I'm lucky, I'll see its fruits. But most likely, and they may not remember even who started it. Just do it, others carry it on. The second person who influenced me is Cardinal Wamala. I was actually with him about a few days ago. He's now 98. But he's still with his mind. And how we became friends, it's another story. He's over 40 years. But to be real friends, maybe 30 years plus, around there. His simplicity, his humility, very humble, not of assuming, and yet is the biggest pillar in the Catholic Church, not only in Uganda, but in Africa as well. You get me? So I don't think when they're talking to me or they're being to me like this, they are intending to be my mentors. I don't think so. But they have ended up mentoring me, plus a few other. The third one was my primary teacher. He was called Francis Bagarkayo. He used to beat us, he used to guide us. So he was teaching us arithmetic. Then in primary, arithmetic has 4 symbols, I think, plus and minus, multiplication and division and add. So when he became a leader, he came to me and said, my son, when I was teaching in a primary school, I taught you 4 symbols in arithmetic. Now that you have become a leader, you must drop 2 and never use them and only use the other 2. Which are these 2? You should never subtract from the people you are leading. And you must never divide the people you are leading. Never. The worst you can do is add on. The best is to multiply. So if you have 60% people supporting you, try your best to make them 65, not to make them 52. He died, but that one told me directly. So I know it was a directive or it was a guidance, but it has also influenced me a lot in my career, in my life. Not only in leadership, but whatever you do, if you can add on, win over. And this is Uncle saying that a leader, akubura, brings people around. Means you must learn how to deal with people who don't like you, and also not to lose people who are your close friends. And you know, in my vernacular, they say, your true friend talks to you as if he hates you when they tell you the truth. So sometimes you want to listen to people who don't like you. I've been reading books how to get along with people you hate or people who are difficult. And the latest book somebody gave me was how to embrace a porcupine. When somebody says, you mean I'm a porcupine? I say, no. How to embrace a porcupine, you know, with its thorns. In other words, and I think the Bible says those things, that's the area of importance that those who are soft, who are kind, will inherit the kingdom of heaven. And we have a saying that a malleable snake which is soft will end up swallowing the hardened one. So those are a few people in life who have influenced my way I do things. So keep friends, keep adding on.
That's true.
You should not enjoy that so-and-so was your friend. Suddenly they are no longer your friends and you have got new ones. That is subtraction and addition. We don't know whether you have subtracted more and added more or less. But if you can not divide people, which I see happening in Ugandan politics now and Africa, not subtract people. Those who don't like me, go away. A leader cannot say such a thing, so let's say it. What for? Find out why are they not liking you. Rather, I think that they hate you. It's not easy. But to lead is not easy. I've not been a leader in many big things, but even you lead your children, you lead your neighbors. I'm now a current leader at home. So those are not small things. You don't leave it 100%, but it becomes your goal. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Hon.Mushega, for telling us that one of the people that played a big role in my life was when my parents died, especially my mom. I did not go to school, but a gentleman came to my life and told me, I'm going to take you back to school, and there's nothing I want from you. Ordinarily, you'd say, I don't know you, why are you taking me back to school? But he told me, I'm taking you back to school and I do not need anything from you. But he told me, this that I have done, make sure that you do it for someone else. I'm thinking that that reminded me when you mentioned that whatever we do, whatever good things that we saw, it does not necessarily mean that we are a mentor to someone directly, but the things that we do, the actions that we play in people's lives go a long way and they make a difference in the rest of the generations. So I would like us to go back to career guidance. You mentioned that you had 2 teachers who helped you change the
Who influenced me?
Who influenced you? Change the course of wanting to be a doctor to being a lawyer. As a Minister of Education, was there a time when you thought career guidance was important? Because those were 2 teachers influencing your career in a way. But as a government of Uganda, as the Ministry of Education, was there career guidance at that time?
Well, they may not have called it career guidance, but the best career guidance is an indirect one. The teachers teach all the options. Now, I had the good luck of being the chairperson of the Education Review Commission to review a paper which was issued when I was actually the minister. Government white paper on education. 30 years later, it's not normal that you pass the regulations and then later on you are the one reviewing them and seeing their shortcomings. When we were in secondary school, there was a lady who was a career guidance. The whole of Uganda, you should come to school, and they put a map there at crossroads. Like a chapter, the signpost. This is heading to East African community. This is heading to education. This is be a teacher, a doctor. And then you are there with your books. Where do I go?
That's true.
I didn't like that one later on in life, because at that hour, by the time you come to a junction, you should be knowing where you want to go, so that you read. But here you are there reading everything. Now where do I go? It means you arrived without a career path.
True. It's happening today.
So what we have been discussing of recent is, I don't think that, again, when I was a minister now, more than 30 years ago, roughly, there was a student in Kisubi who used to do very well in O levels. Now at A levels he was doing poorly. So they called the parent, the father, who was a medical doctor, I think teaching at Makerere. Then they said, this boy has been doing very well, but of recent his performance is poor. So this parent say, you son, what's wrong with you? To cut a long story short. You have always wanted to be a doctor. Now with this type of marks, you won't make it. So the boy burst out. So, Dad, I have never wanted to be a doctor. It is you who wants to make me a doctor. Me, I've always wanted to be a lawyer. Another coincidence anyway. So the teachers, I think the headmaster then was Brother Gaba, who was now retired. So I don't be shy to mention, because this was a good guy. So they persuaded their parent to let the boy pursue his interest. So they changed the course from doing sciences to doing arts. The boy got very good grades. And later on went to Makerere and did law. You get me? Because he would have time to talk freely with the students and teachers. I think the best option would be to teach all options. I don't think that a person is born to be a footballer, is born to be a runner. Because at the end, if you're a footballer, you must be a footballer and finish. What do you do? I think the human being has more than one talent they can exploit. If you are born in America, you may be these who dance on their toes. You cannot dance it in ballet dancers. Are they ballet? There are these ones who somersault, where this girl is now the champion in the world. Gymnastics. Where would you do gymnastics in your village?
Nowhere. Actually, I have a daughter who wants to be a gymnast.
Yes, and I have a granddaughter who is good at when she comes home, she dances on her toes, and you see their ankles collapsing, who think they are very fit. Musicians.
Yes.
Originally, if you're a musician, you were a caste society.
Yes.
Now, if you go in the musician can play for a long time, a footballer, a medical doctor.
Yes.
There are new courses which get, like for example, now studied to be neurosurgeons,
Yes.
to be aeronautic engineers. That was not there 30 years ago. So
Yes.
the new discoveries bring new careers.
True.
That means the human brain is not limited. Try to limit it is unfortunate.
Yeah.
My view from the little I've studied, is that every teacher should be properly taught, be kind to children, be a parent, be a nurse, and be a career guidance. Career guidance that for you, I think I'm guiding you to be a doctor. I think that is wrong. All options are there, and you can see where the child is now more interested. Interestingly, when you're in a primary, and by the time you're in senior, you can change your courses 10 times. Depending on you're influenced by the class, influenced by society, and the behavior of those you see around. So we were in leadership, whether in the police, in the army, in the church, in the business. You are influencing more people than you think.
True.
If you abuse people on TV, some people will learn to be abusing. If you behave with the other day, I visited a home, my niece, and there was this granddaughter, she was in P2, now I'm told she's P3. Then I asked her, what do you want to become? A teacher.
Yeah.
I was surprised. Then I asked the mother, this girl the teacher must be very friendly to her.
Yes.
Said she and the teacher are just bosom friends. Because the teacher is very nice to her.
Yes.
Handles her well in class.
Yes.
She wants to be a teacher.
Yes.
Supposing the teacher is cruel,
She wouldn't.
you know that teachers are wild animals.
Yes.
So yes, there should be career guidance. In other words, let the child be given all options.
Yes.
And have the facilities in the school,
Yeah.
which give her the opportunity or him the opportunity to exercise his or her potential. Then, and even people change their careers along the way. America, the good thing, they go there to study medicine, ends up being engineers.
Yes.
Here, they will kill you for that. You must, because of limited opportunities.
Yes.
And when we have these countries like Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Swaziland, Banjul, those Senegals. Those are not countries, really. They are not viable. These Bazum came here and cut us into pieces of cakes, and we have boundaries which should be seen as demonstrative. They have been now solidified because we want to beat people within their cocoon.
That's true, yeah.
So we must also widen. America is big, China is big, Russia is big because they widen. The bigger their territory, the wider your brain exposure. So these small countries we call states are a nuisance to the development of our people.
Yeah.
You know, I was also one time head of the East African community.
Yes.
So it widened my thinking. When you put resources together, you do better, and your children has an option.
True.
You can drive from here. Imagine you're in America, you can take a car to drive to California, a 4-hour flight by plane.
Yes.
For us, before you cross the border 30 meters away, you're already in another district.
Yes.
You are stamping your passport. So these are also hindrances to our brain power, our exposure, and our capacity to practice our God's potential. So if you can form also bigger territories in Africa and remove these narrow administrative boundaries, you understand me?
Yes.
It will help us to grow. I think our recommendation is that train people in all fields.
Okay.
Then when they're about 15, 16, let them choose.
Yes.
Give them exposure, the consequence of each, values of each. Allow children to take their decision. Because when they take a decision later it doesn't work out, they will not blame anybody, they will adjust.
Yes.
Because nobody starts out to do what they do and do it to the end. Very few doctors end up going industries. Some end up in farming. They may not recall that actually in their subconscious mind they were farmers. But they went there because it is the thing in the news. So, and then widen the opportunity by having bigger territories. Not these tiny Burundi, these tiny Uganda, and where your excellence, everybody is big when you actually are nothing.
Yes.
I don't think an American senator is as arrogant as a Ugandan MP. You think the chairman of C5, you really think you have made a whole village, some even other people to be arrested.
Yes.
That's a sign of shining in a small pond. I hope you get me.
Yes, I do.
I don't know whether the Indian Prime Minister can just order people to be detained the way they do it in Africa. These small territories develop smaller minds, smaller horizons. They are themselves a buffer to our career guidance, if I may use career guidance now.
Yes.
And that's why I was insisting with my colleagues that when we are doing these things, we should go and see what goes in Tanzania, goes in Kenya, goes in Burundi. Ethiopia. You widen and you are one. And so the curriculum also can help in career guidance that you are not limited to this territory.
Yes.
And you are not going, when you go to Kenya, you are not needing a work permit. A Kenyan here does not need to give for residence. The Maasai's graze all the way from Turkana all the way into Tanzania. It's their territory. Now we want them, your cows are a problem here. They had their own network. They knew the rain patterns. These Hausas used to graze their cows all the way from northern Nigeria there, cross into River Nile, and go and graze in northern Sudan, following the rain patterns. Then these ones who came and put their food stops. And these were idiots who have obeyed them more than those who made them. Those who gave us these boundaries, they have abolished theirs, which made us fight for them. Them fight for us. If you can sit in a car in Switzerland and drive all the way to Portugal, here try to go to the border with you and you'll be arrested or going either way that you are, and you will be migrant. So I don't know whether I made sense to you, but I've broken out of the cycle.
I understand your point. So if we allow students to study everything, which is okay, and then when they're 16 or 15, they pick what they want, who is there to tell them this is what you are going to do? I mean, will we need a career guidance counselor in the school?
You have I said every teacher.
Every teacher should do
should do a course in the sports, should do a course in values, should not only teach history, biology first. Should we have some, the way you conduct yourself, the way you treat children. Every teacher is a trained guide, but not the guide tell a student, in my view, that you will be this. No, give them all these options and try to show them which your area is good, another one is area. Let the child be confused.
But some teachers tell us you're not good at math. You should never.
Exactly, that is tragedy. It's a girl who was celebrating Mrs. Ntiro's birthday, then she passed on. And when the memorial service, she gave a lecture. She was in Namagunga and they wrote on it, for you can never do mathematics.
Can you imagine?
She went and did mathematics, got a first class.
Wow.
I think that one reacted differently and got a PhD.
Wow.
You get me?
Yes.
It's dangerous for a parent, for a leader, for a teacher to tell a child that you have no capacity for this. Let it try, keep trying. And if it doesn't do it very well, there is an area where it will excel that child. Surprisingly, you may find that child 10 years later, prove the potential for the areas you thought she was hopeless or was hopeless. Me, I think it's bad for a parent, for a leader,
Yes.
for a teacher, to tell a child that you have no capacity for this.
Yes.
I don't, my view and my experience.
I support you.
Let them try all. You train all puppies. You don't know which will be a good hunter.
Yes.
I think Mao Zedong said that there are 1,000 flowers grow and 1,000 schools of thought contained. There'd be thousands of choices. You get confused now which one should, like when you go in these big banquets, you find a table full of all sorts of dishes.
Yes.
You not eat all of them.
No.
Initially, you may fill a plate with all of them, but as you grow, you learn to pick this day. If you go to every buffet, you want to put everybody placing on your plate, it will be a mess. One of the old men in our area, they said that, how do I know a Chinese name? How do you know which food for poison me? Eat a limited amount, and then in case your stomach is not feeling well, you know that it was this food. So similar, I think the child should be given that opportunity to many. You can test this, test. At the end of the day, my concentration is here. But you don't say, for you, chicken is not, you never eat chicken. You sons, why do you prejudice a person? God gave us the whole world. Keep widening their horizons. Keep widening their horizons. And give them a confusion of choices. Then them choose 10 times.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hon.Mushega. What I hear him say is that if you are a student, if you're a teenager, a young adult out there, and you are not sure what to do, study everything, whatever is available for you to study. Study it with all your heart, with all your might, and eventually you will find out what you are good at and you will pick it up. Teachers, parents, mothers, friends, caregivers who are out there, do not look at your children or the students out there and tell them you can't do this. You will never amount to anything. You can't pursue sciences. You need to do arts. You need to do this. No, let them explore and let them make their personal decisions. And from those choices, they'll definitely become the best people they need to be. And parents, you do not have to tell your children, focus on this. No, when you give them the opportunity to explore, they can become anything that they want to become because they have the potential. There's something that they love. It's something that they have put their minds to doing. And when they become that, they'll definitely make a difference in the nations, in the country that they will be in, because it's what they loved, it's what they were passionate about, and it's what they are pursuing. But Mr. Hon.Mushega, did you have an influence on what your children have become? Did you play a role of saying, I want you to become this, or you let them soar?
No, I discuss with them.
Yes.
But I learned not to tell them do this. And some, I know we are came into inner fire circles. Some did not do certain things when I need them.
Yes.
So I think they made their choices.
Yeah, that's good.
But you can talk to them. Yeah. Sometimes you think that you are not telling them when actually you were. Oh. But I never remember telling any child, do this. Yeah. And my wife, I think, should pick for herself. At one time, she influenced my girl to go to the school she did not want. She did not want to go to Namagunga. She wanted to shift and go to Budo, which was a mixed school. The mother was not keen. Oh, yeah. I remember she asked him, but for you went there, so what's wrong with me going? I said, you make your choice. Yes. And I think the mother went there, and when I came back, it's okay, I'll stay here, but it impacted on her work. So I don't think you should make children do what you want. True. Okay, if it's like home, wash your plates, make your bed. Yeah, the basics. The basics, those ones there, they later on they learn not to do them. But that's part of character formation. True. Yeah. Sit like this, don't talk like this, answer people properly. But good to make them, things to make them good persons and useful to themselves. But the choice of careers and the choice of who they want to marry is primarily yours. But if you have been mingling, you might find that my father may not like this. Yes. Especially for girls, and the boys probably my mother, better in those areas. I think I have not tried to.
That's good.
But I don't want to be 100%, and you may find they have a different point of view.
That's true. You mentioned something about curriculums. Now, about 4 years ago, the secondary school curriculum changed. The O-level curriculum changed. I'm not sure if the A-level curriculum is yet to change. What would you say about the current curriculum? Has it been different? Is it impacting the children differently? Is it helping them study better or become better people? What would you say about the current curriculum?
The new curriculum?
Yes, the new curriculum.
The competence-based?
The competence.
My view that it was long overdue. Because in Africa, we're using that competence-based curriculum. When you grow up,
yes,
you are never subject to exams every evening. You didn't know how you are learning things. Your parents and the community were teaching you how to do things.
Yes.
If you are carpenters, you are learning carpentry. If they are making pottery, if they are making ironmongers, you find you are doing the job. How did you come to learn how to mingle millet? How to make a shovel? Yes. How to peel matoke? Yes. How to boil this? It's a career path. And that's why in these exams, most parents of these so-called prominent schools were annoyed. Yes. That up-country schools must have cheated, did better. Because they are better, they were telling the master the other day. That the up-country children will do the new curriculum better. Yes. Because they're used to do things as they study.
Yes.
Why are you going to study things that are of no value to you in society?
True.
Why do you choose? I don't mind. I don't mind you studying about other parts of the world.
Yes.
But you must know your world first.
True. Yeah.
You must know your culture, your crops. One time a teacher was directed said, what type of children are we producing? They don't know these plants, these trees, these crops in English. Not even in Nyankore, they call them trees bush.
Yes.
But we knew that me and your father-in-law, we knew even the grass, which grass is which does what. Which now they are discovering that this in Yabarachana, they call it black something. Yeah. It's medicinal. Yes. But when you're angry, when you had a small cut, you just squeeze that leaf, put it on, it's painful, tie it there. 30 minutes later, you are dried up. We knew that medicine. You didn't have to go to the doctor. Yeah. Now the doctors are coming back to what they have condemned as witchcraft. Yes. So there we are, the new curriculum. And when we went up country, yes, you saw these children, there's a school we went to. Then my friend with the professor was guiding the discussion with us. Okay, senior 6, what you want to say they were quiet. Senior 5, senior 4, when you came to senior 3, this was a girls' school. They said, for us, we are the new curriculum. We are thinkers. Even you say when you ask us, we can answer easily. Those fellows are lost. They themselves, they were enjoying it because it deals with the reality and it gives hands-on. So it's long overdue. It was not done in the best way, but if we wait for everything to be perfect, for it to start, you'll never achieve anything. Yes. But not for today. So that's normal. That's what the whole world is doing, and you keep adjusting as things change. Yes. So, but the biggest problem is bureaucrats, teachers, people are averse to change. Because when you change, you must go back to learn. True. But eventually you must learn. If you don't learn, learning will force itself on you.
Thank you so much. So what do you envision the Ugandan education system to be in the next 5 years? What would you want to see and what is being done towards achieving that?
One of them is not neglect the role of the parents in the upbringing of the children.
Yes.
And I think it should be in extreme circumstances that children are forced to go to boarding schools, at worst in the primary school. Preferably it should be up to O level when they are 15, 16. Because there is no better class than your family class. These Bazungu brought boarding schools because they wanted to convert us. They were conversion centers.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. She's not talking about that's the truth.
Yes.
They bring to the school. Yeah. You are there for 6 months, go for a short holiday. But by the time you finish the 4 years, you are already converted. Most people are converted in those. Now everybody has been converted to whatever religion they wanted. Christian, Muslim,
from whoever they were
from whoever we are, from our beliefs, the new beliefs, which they call now as paganism.
Yes.
And our beliefs were, by the way, superior. Bring up a character of a person.
Yes.
So the role of a parent should be emphasized.
Yes.
Number two, the role of a teacher. Because you are what? Because of the parents, the community you grew up with. Number two, because of the... Number one is your parents and the community you grew up with.
True. Yeah.
Number two is the teachers. So to me, teachers should be really given start teaching.
Yes.
Training.
Yes.
There should be parents. There should be, especially, there should be nurses. There should be caretakers. There should be role models. There should not be miserable people teaching miserable children.
Yeah, some people, like when I did education, I did it because it was the course that was given me to the university. Yeah. So if I was to continue as a teacher, I would go teach, but I don't like what I'm doing. Yeah. So do you think some of the teachers actually do that?
Majority are like that. So the situation should be that teaching should be made persuasive, should be given a higher grading than doctors and engineers. All of us were what we are, largely because of the teachers and the community you go under. The facilitation, not this where is a last resort. The countries which have done very well, you go there, find the teacher is the first option. Even most leaders come from teachers. Yes. So that's the second observation. Yeah. The third observation, I think, the religious leaders and the European culture did big disservice to Uganda and Africa. Because our concept of the African family, extended family.
Yes.
It was a big, big mistake. Because the child was never brought up by father and mother.
But the whole village.
You were a child of the community.
Yes, yes.
Hope you get me.
Yes, I do.
So you are no longer the community. Anybody could guide you. And discipline you does not mean meeting. Say, you man, you are in this school, you are so and so son. That one. Behave like this. Yes. So you call it extended. It's not extended, it's the way we understood the family. Family was never father, mother, and children. It's a disastrous. You are in a playing field, the children don't know each other. Even your brother's children no longer know yours. You may not live the way we used to live, but it's no harm to know the community you live in.
Yes, yes.
The community.
Yes.
So that even a block of flats, parents, they have like a common facility where children play. They come to know each other.
Yes.
That one is another plus in bringing up future leaders. By leaders, citizens, I don't mean these Gombora chiefs and politicians. No, people are responsible.
Yes.
The fourth one is the way leaders behave. Religious leaders, spiritual leaders, temporal leaders is political leaders, business leaders, intellectual leaders. The way you conduct yourself influences many, many children. So leaders should be careful the way they conduct themselves.
Sure. Yeah.
They should be careful the way they talk.
Yes.
You can't be abasalam batamazeo. Pretend to make. Nobody talks about good people and bad people. So that's very critical.
Sure. Yeah.
So that then we eventually develop a system of
accountable race.
Yes.
This is both class violence and
Yes.
the system of community interest.
Yeah.
Because, all cultures the same, the child is raised by the community.
not the biblical they will fear your mother and your father and everything will be. That is narrow. That narrow path should be abandoned.
Yes.
And we'll go back to our cultural path of the community.
Yes.
Bring up children. Because children must go in the community. When they are block of flats, I've seen where I am. We have a son there with a year and a half. But the other children who are always not there, they come in because they have a compatriot. You find automatically they walk in the bedrooms looking for their friend. You get me?
Yes.
Nobody has. Originally, how are you so now you find them in the house, the flat.
Yes.
Who brings them there? The common young man. Also, you find he has crossed. They look for each other. Then the parents come to know them because your children have actually opened the path for you. For them, they have no discrimination. They know how to look for their their age mates. Isn't it?
It's true, yeah.
So I remember when at the farm, I used to take people there to go to roasting or sometimes an animal. You find women in a corner there cutting kashumbari.
Yes.
The big men in somewhere chatting. The big boys in one corner. The big girls in another corner. And the children somewhere. Somehow, people divide themselves according to their age groups. And only when the meat is ready is when you become a common to bring what brought you. But that's how society is. So why do you need the opportunity children to play with the fellow children? And you, the parents, know each other because you are all bring up these children who grow up with that character of community rather than individualism.
Yeah.
I don't know. So those 4 pillars should be looked at a bit, plus others.
Yes.
So that when you are religious serious, you are teaching people behavior, not that our religion is superior to the others. In reality, you are living together whether you are like it or not.
Yes.
So why don't we? And I wish you people would believe very seriously in Jesus. He would come tomorrow. He would really whip you badly because you are not behaving according to his examples.
Yeah.
So that you can change your territory.
Finally, what would you tell the youth and the young adults out there who are trying to pursue their careers but they are discouraged that when they finish university, when they finish school, they won't find jobs? What advice would you give?
Number one, I told you, these countries always are too narrow to create enough jobs. Whether you want it or not, imagine if you are there with your husband. However clever you were, even this person who is interviewing us, I don't know who is from, this equipment, this narrowness is the biggest danger facing Africa. The worship of these colonial territories. The area we do away with them, the better for our children. Number 2, the parents should learn how to take up their responsibilities. Because now they argue, children of these days is not children of these days, the parents of these days. It's the parents who are the problem, not the children.
How is that?
You don't bring up your children responsibly. Like I said, they grew up in the community. Teach them that you can live. The little you have. First use what you have. You can find somebody where you come from, where you are married, with 5 acres of land, but the person is idle in town looking for what to do.
Of course, yes.
You cannot utilize what we have, but want to utilize what we don't have. Then that is accompanied by a wider community to teach that the first person responsible for your existence is yourself. What can you do with yourself in the available situation? Some call it job creation, no, but it is creative thinking, innovative thinking, and not the thing that other people always live in. And the leaders would stop telling people lies. Tell them exactly these are the resources on the table. How countries like Singapore, which are tight with no land, have jobs. Countries like we visited Korea, Japan, which have no nothing resources, they have jobs. The RC Congo, which has all the resources, agriculture, Uganda, here when it rains, we are flooded. Tomorrow, the dry season, we have no water. What type of fellows are we? To learn to utilize what we have, and leaders were brought up to serve the community, not serve themselves. Not worshipping money makers and thieves, and looking at those who try to live a decent life as wasters of time. So it's not an easy thing to do, but if we can look broadly, we'll do a lot. Our children are becoming narrower and narrower in thinking. Yet when I was growing up, we are wider and wider. We are Pan-Africanists, East African community citizens. Now you are now even with the districts we have created, so let's go in that territory. Even people think narrowly. That this is our area, you can't get a job here, even if you are competent. So in the short run, we are creating a situation worse.
There are some parents who have decided to take their children into the international curriculums. Do you think that would give the diversity? of getting more jobs, going out of the country, being more creative? What do you think?
There are no things. First of all, there is no such a thing as the international curriculum. It doesn't exist anywhere.
I'm referring to the British curriculum.
No, yeah, exactly.
The
There is
American
no. I
curriculum.
know you are in that boat. There is no international curriculum anywhere in the world.
What does that mean?
It's a way of attracting people. You are putting the British curriculum, or Turkish curriculum, or Chinese curriculum, or French curriculum, or American curriculum. Simple. They call them international school. Those are just like meaning Great Africa.
Yes.
When you are in Africa south of the Sahara, instead of calling it Black Africa, you give it a sweet name.
Yes.
There's no. So it's just escape because these children who are working abroad, your husband is working in Egypt. Did you go to international school?
No, he did not.
Yes, he studied.
Yeah.
First, we should develop confidence in what we have. Our curriculum is good enough. What they teach there is not what you cannot teach here. And that's the school for the elite. Because the elite now want to be on their own, separate themselves from this rough where they grew up.
Yes.
It's another one of class formation. They go to I was the other day around near Mavera Forest. I saw something in international church. Yes.
Yeah.
In COVID, they said international school can open. Then there's somebody in Barayon, there's some international school. Just title only. What was he teaching? We, the leaders, were just as confused as the people are leading. What is an international curriculum? What is an international school? What is it teaching that you cannot teach in the Bweranyanji?
Yes.
You cannot teach in good high school. That you cannot teach in Navamar High School. You get me?
Yeah.
You cannot teach in a zone. But what is there? It's what you choose to teach to solve your issues. Now people are no longer going to hospitals. They are no longer going to our schools. They think driving a huge car is the best option in the world to see show.
Yeah.
We are not dealing with the actual problems on the earth. So there is not such a thing as international curriculum. You
It's
tell
all
me.
the same.
It's a curriculum of the British. So are you going to serve British citizens? And it doesn't guarantee you that when you go there, you'll be a British.
No.
People already working in Britain as experts who are trained in Africa.
Yes.
It's the knowledge you have
Yes.
and how practical it is, how innovative it is, how creative it is.
Yeah.
To stay outside the box.
So it doesn't matter which curriculum you are using,
No,
whether it's
you must have a curriculum relevant to our situation. Solve Uganda problems, understand the problem of East Africa, understand the problem of Africa, then the problem of the world.
Oh,
We should know our resources.
sure.
Who knows about this oil? Then just hear it as it's something there. People in China know about Uganda oil more than the people in the north.
Of course, yes.
What
That's
is?
true.
Because you don't want people to know about that oil or about that gold because we are not using it for ourselves.
Yes.
So we keep it there. It's a top secret.
Yes.
Why should it be a secret?
Yeah.
In a way in Africa. Why are these wars in Stockholm? Think for the love of Congolese,
Yeah.
the love of the court pen, and the diamonds,
Yes.
back on the members there.
Yes.
If it not for our youth, they'll be enjoying them together. So I don't know. Okay.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hon.Mushega. It was a pleasure having you here. And I take out that no matter which curriculum you do, let us.
No, not matter which curriculum. The curriculum must be relevant
Yes.
to your situation.
That's what I was going to say. So the curriculum that we are using, whether you're in Ghana, whether you're in Ivory Coast, whether you're in Nigeria, whether it's in Uganda, the curriculum that we need to use should be relevant to our situation, to our nation, that is going to help the students grow up and make a difference in our nation, because we want to raise leaders who are going to be influential in our communities, in the different spheres of influence that we have in our nation, in whichever country you are in. So when they use either curriculums, is it being impactful? Is it going to bear fruit through your children, through what they're going to study, through what they are going to do? So the curriculums that you are going to put your children still, make sure that your children are going to get something out that is going to help them make a difference in the nations where they are and where they're going to grow. Thank you so much for watching. We Cash Up Consult is here to help you out, to help your teenagers, to help your young adults achieve and pursue their dreams. So follow us, like our social media pages, and subscribe. If you have any comment, any question, any topic that you would like us to talk about, please write it down in the comment section and we'll be happy to talk about it. Thank you all. Bye-bye.